Hello. Welcome to another episode of Haunted Facts. Today's video is all about the top 10 scariest mythological creatures in the Philippines. But before we begin, please support this channel by subscribing, liking, leaving a comment and sharing this video. And please don't forget to watch this channel's other videos. Thank you. Even before colonizers set their sights on the Philippine archipelago, Filipinos had an established belief system that was so rich and ingrained in their way of life that traces of it can still be found today. Philippine mythology is a collection of legends and superstitions about supernatural beings that our forefathers thought walked the earth. These legends have been passed down from generation to generation as folk stories. Nowadays, grown-ups frequently scare Filipino children into obedience with these nightmare-inducing creatures. Don't be naughty, or a kapre will come and get you. Don't play outside at night, or an aswang will prey on you. Don't play in the dirt, or you might piss off a Nuno sa Punso. Do you recognize them? Here are the top 10 scariest dark creatures in the Philippine mythology. The Aswang is the country's most well-known monster, having inspired numerous works of art, television shows, and films. Even Spanish colonists reported that the Aswang was the most feared mythological beast in the Philippines. Vampires, ghouls, witches, and werebeasts are just a few examples of shape-shifting evil monsters. They can also appear as animals, like wild boars and large carnivorous dogs. The Aswang is popular in the southern regions of Luzon, as well as Mindanao and Visayas, particularly Capiz, a Visayan province. Kapres are large, 7 to 9 feet tall, dark-skinned, hairy, and muscular beings that are also known as tree giants. They are known for having a strong body odor and smoking while perched on tree limbs. A kapre may approach a woman and offer friendship, if it is interested in her. If a kapre falls in love with a human, it will be devoted to that love interest for the rest of its life. The kapre also lets its human companions see it. The term kapre comes from the Arabic word kafir, which refers to non-Arabic believers. The name was coined by the Spanish, who were trading with the Moors at the time, to describe indigenous Negrito ethnic groups with dark skin. During the Spanish era, lowland Christianized ethnic groups used racial and ethnic profiling against Negrito tribes, which influenced mythological kapre characterizations. A viscera sucker, the Manananggal, is a type of aswang that feeds on internal organs, infants, or the phlegmatic discharge of the sick. It appears to be a lovely, fair-skinned woman with long, flowing hair during the day. When it gets dark, its upper body transforms into bat-like wings and splits at the waist, leaving its lower half behind. It goes to great lengths to conceal its lower half before taking to the skies in search of prey. Viscera suckers burrow deep into the jungle if they do not live in the trees. They may also embed themselves in local communities in order to find prey more easily. To defeat the Manananggal, sprinkle salt in or crushed garlic on its lower half to prevent its upper half from combining with it. A multo or ghost is the spirit or soul of a deceased person or animal who can manifest or haunt the living. According to folklore, they can range from barely discernible wispy shapes to vivid, lifelike figures. Seances, also known as necromancy or spiritism, are attempts to make contact with the spirit of the deceased. It has been described as an aspect, phantom, poltergeist, specter, spirit, spook, wraith, and demon. The Nuno sa Punso, Old Man of the Mound, is a dwarf-like monster who lives in an anthill or termite mound in Philippine folklore. Nuno, derived from the word ne Nuno, refers to the spirits of the elders, ancestors. To avoid angering it and suffering the consequences, the Nuno must grant permission before any tree is cut or virgin ground is disturbed. In Philippine mythology, the Nuno is not the same as a duende, dwarf. The duende, unlike the Nuno, is a vengeful hobgoblin who will harm anyone who damages or disturbs his mound. People who disappear into Nuno or duende's world inside the mounds for a few moments are said to return to the human world years later because time is different in their ancient world. Filipinos use the term Santelmo to describe balls of fire in fields and swamps. Santelmo is an abbreviation for Apoy ni San Elmo, or Saint Elmo's fire. European sailors have reportedly witnessed this phenomenon for centuries. According to legend, the fireball can transform into a fire-breathing beast. It enchants travelers and fishermen to follow it at night. They walk aimlessly until they get tired and lost. They must turn their clothes inside out to find their way home. This will free them from the enchantment and allow them to return home. The Sigbin, also known as the Sigbin, is a monster that appears in the nighttime shadows and feeds on the blood of its victims. They say it walks backward with its head tucked between its back legs and that it can vanish from view, especially from humans. Though it lacks horns, it has enormous ears that can be clapped together like a pair of hands and a long, flexible tail that can be used as a whip. Sigbinen are families who own Sigbin. They are said to have the ability to control these monsters, which they allegedly keep in clay jars. The Aswang are also known to keep Sigbins as pets. The Tikbalang, an anthropomorphic creature that resembles a centaur in appearance, is thought to live in the Philippine highlands and forests. It's a large, horse-like humanoid with unusually long limbs. When squatting, its knees are higher than its head. They are cunning creatures who are notorious for leading travelers astray. According to legend, when it rains while the sun is still shining, a Tikbalang is getting married. The Tiktik is a vampire like Aswang that takes on the appearance of a beautiful woman. It takes on the appearance of a beautiful woman. It's all about the blood for the Tiktik, just like it is for Western vampires. The only difference is that it sucks blood with a tongue that resembles a proboscis rather than fangs. Tiktiks, unlike Western vampires, do not live in graves. Tiktiks prefer to live alone in the forest, far from their prey. They occasionally marry into human society, but only to use the community as a safe haven while raiding neighboring villages at night. To entice unsuspecting passers-by, the Chanak takes the form of a toddler or infant screaming in the wild. When it is picked up, it reverts to its natural form and feeds on the unfortunate soul who took pity on it. It is also known to kidnap children and mislead people. Tianics, according to modern legends, are stillborn babies as a result of abortion. However, the Chanak dates back to the Spanish era, when husbands of pregnant women would swing their bolos incessantly at their homes' doorways, until their wives had safely delivered in order to ward off Tianics and Aswangs. That's it for today's video. Please don't forget to support this channel by liking, subscribing, leaving a comment and sharing this video. Thank you.